Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Robin, this is Digital Wilds, and this is Grow Cube. If you're not familiar with the Grow series, then I pity you because for the last 15 years or so, these have been some of the most creative games on the internet. This is a little Flash series started by a guy called On, a Japanese developer who works under the name Eyezmaze, and quite simply, our job is to click some tiles and see what happens to the world, and I'd love to show you a little bit about Grow today. We're all locked down, nobody's really enjoying themselves, so let's see what happens if we place this ball. It drops off screen, that's less than ideal. So, as you will see, as we drop these items, they interact with the world and each other. They grow and influence each other, hence the name of the game. And as we go, our job is to level these things up, to build them into creating a magical land filled with interactive items which we've placed. Now, unfortunately, on this first run through, you're going to see that we've not made a significant amount of progress because we've basically placed them in a random order. The puzzle of Grow is to play it multiple times so that you can see how the objects interact and the kind of relationship they have to each other. Now, what I've gathered from this first playthrough of Grow Cube, first in many years at least, is that clearly the water interacts with a person, and so that's something I'm going to want to nurture fairly early on, because unless it's reached level max, which only the Saucer has, it's not good enough to win the game. The job, while we play Grow Cube, is to get everything to level max, and we'll unlock a very special ending. So, I'm going to trial and error this, I'm going to work our way through, and we'll see how well things work. So, we start with the person. He's all alone in his little cube. And then, we'll add the water and see how they interact. So, as he did in the last playthrough, we see the little person interact with the water and dig out this little pond. So the cube is already being sort of eroded by our effect on it. I think I'm going to add the pot next. That seemed to go relatively well when we started adding the fire last time. So now we have a second person, and we can dig out this little channel. Excellent, so now we have a little water feature, and we've got some grass. So given we've got grass, I'm going to add some plants, and we'll see how that goes. So the pot levels up, the little guys go up to 3 and start sort of chipping away at the block. So this is making some good progress now. Okay, so now we've done those. Well, we've got this little thriving ecosystem, so let's add some fire to the mix and see how that interacts with things. So the pot goes up, and we've now got, yep, so the plants grow. We've got the little guys carving out. Oh, we found a little cave deep within the cube, so there's clearly something going on there. Okay, well, why don't we add the ball now and see where that goes? No. Okay, so lesson number 2, as well as the water and the people interacting well, don't drop the ball before you've got something to drop the ball on. That makes sense. Okay, so let's add the dish, and that was relatively easy to level up, as I learned last time. We only needed 1 stage to get that up to maximum, so that shouldn't be too much of a difficulty. So now the pot's up to maximum, and we've got the fire. We can start, looks like, cooking something. Right, so that duly done. Let's add the bone and see where that leads, because that clearly can level up, so we don't want to leave it till last. So we've now got some kind of cooking going on between those various plants. I hope those little yellow guys make some soup. The little yellow guys, by the way, those are kind of the series mascots. They'll show up in most of the entries and interact with the world. Grow Cube was released in 2006. There have been several games in the series since. This wasn't the first one. That was, I think, Grow 3, slightly confusingly, and there was a Grow version 2 as well. I might look at those at some point, but I think I'm going to show you 3 games today, and we'll see how those work as puzzles, because there has been a slight evolution in the Grow series over the years, which I think is thematically appropriate. So, although it looks like, given that we've lost the ball, we're not going to win this time, we've made significantly more progress on this run through. We've got the dish up to maximum, and we've carved out a significant chunk of the block. So, between all those things, we've learned a few things. So I think people and water is a good starting place, and getting the plants in early is clearly important as well. Okay, so we got the people up to max, the fire to max, the plants to max, dish to max. Didn't get the ball, that's the main sticking point, but we did get the pot up to level 6. So clearly there's further for that to go. I guess the cooking didn't finish, so we need to get that earlier than we did this time. Okay, we're learning now, so let's give it another go. Let's try adding the plants, because we can get those up to maximum fairly quickly. Okay, I think given that we've got to get it in early, we'll do the pot next. Okay, so now that we've got the grass, let's get the pipe down. See where that leads, because that needs to grow a little bit as well, especially as the cube starts getting carved out. Now, as I recall, the fire was fairly important. It needs to go down before the pot levels up to being a proper cooking cauldron, so we'll do the fire next. Okay, the spring just needs to be a spring, so I feel like that's got to go relatively late. Can't use the ball till we've got something to put the ball on, and going by how the bone grew last time, that's going to be the little dinosaur head, so that needs to go before the ball. The spring needs to go last, I think, so I guess we'll go for the saucer? Doesn't seem to have caused us any harm yet. Now we'll go for the bone, so that can start growing into the dinosaur before we put the ball down. So now if we put the ball down... Ah, it doesn't just land on top of the dinosaur bone. Okay, it grows inside the tunnel, so that can actually make it quite useful. Particularly if we get the platforms that spring out. Yes, so okay, I see how this works. So now if we put the spring down, they'll land on top of the platforms and they can bounce the ball along. Okay, this stands to reason. I think we might have done this. Not quite. Okay, so one more run through, and let's see if we can get this right this time. Okay, so we get the water spout one turn earlier by putting the people before the water. I think we were along the right kind of lines though. So next is going to be the plants, then the pot, then the pipe because we need to ensure that has time to grow out properly, then the fire. Ah, so by putting the plants down earlier, that gets the cooking going on slightly earlier, I think. So hopefully that will help enhance the cookery when we get there. You know, in these slightly scary times, where we're all stuck inside and we're watching the world burn, it's quite nice to watch some little stick figures poke around a little cutesy cube and grow things. It's just quite relaxing. Now that we've got the plants up to maximum this turn, we might be onto something good. Ah, especially now we've got some extra cooking going on. Yes, that looks like... There we go, that's taken the pot up to maximum. Now, I'm not sure what that golden orb does, but I imagine now that we've put the springs down, we might find out. And there we go, everything levels up. We get some... This is an animation we definitely haven't seen before, so I think we have done it. Yes, there we go. And with the transformation by the Orange Jade of Destiny, we have seemingly finished Grow Cube. So, excellent. Well done me. There we are. So we have beaten Grow Cube. Despite my relative lack of experience coming into this, we've got through it in only a few attempts. So I think it's time that we looked at another game in the series. So with a slightly more rough and ready look, I believe this game might have been developed a little bit earlier. We have Grow RPG. This takes a rather different approach to Grow Cube, although the principle is the same, add the items in the correct order to win. However, there are different routes through this, different animation style that makes it worth seeing in my view. So without further ado, let's get going. So, what does the adventurer need to kill the demon first? Well, he's going to need some kind of castle. So, with every item we drop, the demon destroys another part of the world, which makes me think that we're going to want water fairly early. Because that's going to be important when it comes to... it's going to need to be crossed at some point, potentially. Similarly, if there's a forest, he can't destroy that part of the world, so why don't we grow that next? Castle's getting to a nice good level now. I'm not sure quite what the stairs do. Maybe some kind of dungeon? Either way, we'll need a kind of town where we can go as an RPG hero to get our first quest and kill some rats in the basement and get our first weapons. So that's got the forest going up and the castle's up nice and high. What does this tower do? Maybe that's kind of a late stage boss area. Maybe we'll put that up. So the castle's very much leveling up now, as is the town. Uh-oh. What's the demon doing? Okay. Is that some kind of Dragon Quest style slime? I think it might be. Well, let's drop a rock on it and see what happens. Oh no, so that summons some kind of rocky Mordor-like area over there. Well, let's try the stairs, see what they do. Okay, so some kind of dungeon, yeah. Oh, and that creates a little sawmill. Okay, that's very nice. I like this. I like this animation. That's not what we want. Okay. The king, however, might have a better chance against dragons. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no, this might rescue... Oh, okay. Okay, so we want that guy on our side. Excellent. And he gets some kind of orb. Well, let's drop some treasure chests and see what they can reveal for us. Well, now that the items have been dropped, we get to see what our adventurer makes of the world we've created for him. So this might end up being quite good. But unfortunately, because it's not everything level max, although we did pretty well, we're going to see just how good he is. Unfortunately, this is probably not going to end well for him. So we start off alright, we get some coins, we're now level 2. Go and see the king, who's wounded from his battle with the dragon, but nonetheless gives us some treasures. Get our sword, okay. And now we do 2 damage instead of 1, excellent. Okay, so we get past that guy, unfortunately, we're still only on 2 HP, which is not enough really in my view. We'll climb the tower and see what we can find. Some armour for 4, very nice. Yeah, quite sensibly, I don't think we're going to go take on the dragon quite yet. The blue orb, nice. Right, so, what does this guy make of us? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, this is... Yes, we've met with a terrible fate, haven't we? Yeah, okay, so, that was unsuccessful. So, as we head into the second attempt... apparently, we should be laying down the village first, which stands to reason as a sort of starting area, and then we'll add the tree. The castle needs to go relatively early on, I think, because it needs the time to level up so that we can get all the items from it, so we'll do that next. The fact of there being a lighthouse in the village implies that there needs to be water, so let's get that in place. Then the tower. Okay, so the tower being there. Oh, so we've got a big tree on an island and a kind of dock at the village, which gives us an option that clearly the hero did not have before. So, next up is the rock. So as well as the dock, we now have a little raft. Okay, this is all coming together very nicely. I imagine those fruits on that tree are going to be of particular importance as well. So, looks like the treasure chest is next, because that needs time to level up. And not only do we have a raft, we now have a proper little sailing boat. So, yeah, this looks like we should have everything in place. So, with that completed, let's add this hole and see where we get to. Ah, so there's a little guy going into the forest. Okay, oh, so we have a little woodcutter's hut in the forest now. Excellent. We built ourselves a nice little fantasy world. I'm quite a fan. Right, so we begin the hero's journey, and we have maxed everything out, so we can be assured of some sort of victory. Let's see how it goes. So we get a sword nice and early. We don't have to buy it from the village, which is excellent. Now, so we can take out that enemy without any damage and get an extra heart into the bargain. Very nice. Pay the ferryman and head over to the island, where we get the giant bomb fruit. Okay. Seems efficacious. I am getting some serious early Zelda vibes from this, which I think is intentional. Armour duly donned. We can now take that guy out with a minimum of loss, so still on 3 hearts, back up to 4, making the dragon hopefully much easier when we get to him this time. Quite sure why that money is useful, because I think we've been to the shop now, but appreciate it all the same. I guess he wants to come home with some kind of reward from all this. This is looking dicey on the health, but I'm imagining that our guy is going to pull it out of the bag. Ah, yes, so the king comes to our aid. Very nice. And now we're back to full health. bomb lets us destroy that rock. We get to the chest on top of the mountain, and the golden sword is ours. So, maxed out on health, maxed out on attack, maxed out on defense. Let's take it to this demon lad. This looks like being no problem whatsoever. Might get a little bit dicey, but no. And with 1 health remaining, he goes down. So, with this rather unceremonious congratulations screen, we have beaten Grow RPG, the second of the games that I wanted to show you today. Now, the later Grow games started to experiment a bit more with their format, so the next one I'm going to show you does things a little bit differently. Let's jump to it. So welcome back, and welcome to Grow Island. Now, this is, to my mind, my favourite Grow game. I just love it. Brings together all of the aspects that were developed in the earlier Grow games, the animation style, the jaunty music, the fun little interactions between the objects, and it turns them into an edutainment game as well. So we're going to learn about the way that science and technology evolved according to the world of Grow. Who could ask for anything better? So, without further ado, let's get started. So, as well as learning a little bit about the types of disciplines, we've got to make sure still that everything is in the right order. So, let's start out with architecture. Need houses in order to study. So, then we're going to probably want civil engineering because we need roads. Now that we've got those 2 little guys, maybe we'll want some mechanical engineering. I reckon computer engineering is going to want to come relatively late. But they've clearly now fallen in love, which is what happens every time someone builds roads and someone else has houses. There's a marriage of convenience there. So that guy... Oh, so that's very romantic. He's planted a field of flowers for his sweetheart. Now, this implies that there's some kind of positive developments in terms of my leveling up here. So... mechanical engineering done. Let's try aeronautics, marine, automotive engineering. Let's get the roads filled with cars. So the little Grow family goes out in search of a picnic, and I guess yep. So clearing the forests, destroying the environment, as you do. That volcano spewing out clouds implies that the volcano is going to go off at some point. We'll see. We'll wait for that for now. Environmental engineering, yeah. Next, let's try and fix the damage of the deforestation that we did. Okay, so we now have this little stampy vehicle over here, which evidently can be used to sort of flatten the ground. Let's do applied chemistry next. Gonna need some fuel to run the vehicle. Oh, that volcano is getting, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, no, that's. Oh, okay. So that was not ideal because our beak is broken without getting to use it for anything. Electrical engineering next, but let's see how that interacts with the rest of the world. So we've got a little house area over here built up very nicely until that volcano blows. Oh, blows with its strange bunny creature with lava ears? I don't know. Well, let's see what computer science gets us. A giant 90s style desktop. Excellent. Ah, no, it's all in Japanese. I don't read Japanese. If you read Japanese, you can zoom into this and tell me what it says, but sadly, I cannot help you. I imagine that this is other courses that are available that didn't make it into the game. I think this was made as a kind of edutainment thing that was advertising for a university. I'm not entirely clear. The problem is with Eyezmaze that his server died recently, so a lot of the data from back when these games were released has been lost, or at least isn't accessible right now. He also, sadly, the poor guy had heart surgery last year, so he's not been in a brilliant way health-wise, and so we hope you get better on, and if you get the server back up and running when you do, that would be ideal. So, now that we've done that, let's give this another try. So, strangely, according to the walkthrough I've just consulted, we need to start with aeronautics. I guess that needs some time to develop. And then we'll want the civil engineering, which I believe was the road network with the pickaxe. Yes, so that guy needs to pop up first. I think we need to get the, then we need to get the architecture going on, because we need that couple to get together relatively early on so that they can breed and we can get the houses up to maximum level. So, that having been built, we can then go on and apparently get the computer science next, because I guess the technology needs time to mature. Then the electrical engineering. As we saw last time, they're together, the field of flowers, the development of the family, and so that's all going in a very positive direction. Yes, now those things start leveling up. We can get the applied chemistry going on before the volcano blows. Hopefully, and that computer is leveled up to a proper server stack now, which is very nice. So that implies that our computing power is going to reach a reasonable level. I think I may have done this in the wrong order again. Oh, okay. We appear to have summoned aliens. So my little guy is an alien now. Have I done something wrong here? I've never seen. Okay, well the beaker's broken, so we've clearly done that wrong. But yeah, we managed to get the little mining guy to level UFO, which implies something that I happen to know about this game, which we'll show you down the line. So, back to the beginning, and let's get this ending sorted. So first, we go for the mechanical engineering, then the civil engineering, then the architecture. Aha, so now he's in the little vehicle. He can stamp down the road, it looks like, so we get a nice smooth surface to ride over in our future cars. Lovely. So that's clearly worth a level up. And then we're going for the aeronautics, so it makes sense. We've got a nicely built road. We've got some kind of automated vehicles to go across it. Ah, so we're now in our little robot mech suit thing. Okay, so next up it's the environmental engineering, which further evolves our robot, but distracts the driver by getting the couple back together, as we are quite familiar with by this stage. So their house goes up several levels at once, which is very nice work, and we've got our first car on the road. It's a little block, which might remind you of the creatures from Cubivore, plug. So next up it's the electrical engineering, which I guess will help us create more eco-friendly cars at some point, if we can get the battery up to the appropriate level. The robot having been leveled up again, we are now mining our way through the island, creating more usable space. So I imagine that tunnel is going to turn into something at some point. Especially, now we've got a little pirate ship, which I imagine will go sail over that little island in the corner, which would be very nice. So that is encouraging indeed, particularly because now it's on the ground, it can't fall and smash, I believe. And now that we've got the rumble out of the way, there won't be any further rumbling to destroy the chemistry. Oh, so the robot upgrades further. We've now got proper... yeah, futuristic mech sort of music going on, and that little superhero has a parachute. Oh, I love his little heart-shaped parachute. That's lovely. I forget how inventive these games can be. Now, Grove family are making good use of their oven over there. We've built a rocket, which is very nice, so we're looking at launching up to space. Brilliant. I love the little space background hanging from hooks there. That's brilliant. Okay, so we've got a second chemistry beaker. Ah, very nice. So now we'll get some serious chemistry going on. As predicted, we've got ourselves a nice little electric car. Looks a little bit like the Pigmask cars from Mother 3, if you played that. I wonder if that was an influence, because this game came out a little bit after Mother 3, and I seem to recall the Mother series is a much bigger thing in Japan than it is here, so it may well have been. Robot Pilot Dad is alright. They scold the child and pat him better. And, oh, are we going to have a nice picnic? I hope we are. Yeah. Got the bento box out, very Japanese. Ooh, electrification of the network, like we don't have in the middle main line. Yeah, there we go, a third science beaker, so that feeds together. And we're done. So we fuel that giant robot friend, and we've got the public transit going, we've got the electric car going. Yeah, we've got some strangely out of proportion sheep, we've got our little Eyezmaze style whales. Brilliant. Okay, so we've won, you would think, except this is one of the Grow games that has a second ending. Now, let's try and find it out. Now, if you were watching closely earlier this video, you might get an impression of where that ending is leading. But let's find out. So we start with the aeronautics, counterintuitively. We continue through with the civil engineering. So this starts relatively normally. Then the architecture. So this is proceeding as you would expect so far, but then things start to diverge. We have the computer science, start getting that up a little bit early. Then the electrical engineering. You see we're getting the technology boosting up a little bit here. So a few upgrades performed. We'll go over to the mechanical upgrade. So that house is achieving very high level status now, which is nice. Now that we've had the rumbling of the volcano, we can go over to the applied chemistry and get that up and running. And as we found on our earlier attempt through, we get a UFO up for the little man, which is rather strange. And now that we're not at the end of the game, he goes and UFOifies his house as well. So the UFO blocking up the volcano means that we're not going to get the typical volcano creature coming out and spewing its lava over the level. But we're also not going to get it rumbling and breaking the beacon. So let's deploy the last button, the environmental engineering, and we'll see how this goes. So the alien family, being where they are, transforming into quite the alien mob, form this little dancing circle on the road network. Get a UFO up to the little furnace and to the science. So, isn't this lovely? We get this little secret UFO ending that is never flagged. You just have to figure it out by trial and error, or in my case, by using a walkthrough for the sake of efficacy of the video. But you know what? It's quite sweet. We get these strange ethereal shapes rolling around. We get this Mobius strip over here, and yeah, I'm a big fan of the UFO ending. I actually slightly prefer it to the normal ending. So, hope you've enjoyed that. Now, I think before I go, I'm going to leave you with one of my favourite Grow installments. It's not the most flashy, it's not the most full-featured, but it's one that I think is quite sweet and has a lot of heart, and I think you might enjoy it as well. So, with the animation of this poor little guy running out of energy, we find ourselves in Grow Nano Volume 3. Now, as I explained, it's one of my favourite Grow games. It's one of the sweetest. And I think it's one of the ones that needs the least explanation. I think it speaks to our human instinct to want to help this poor guy recover from his illness. And we just need to experiment until we can get it done. There's only 6 panels. It's not a very difficult task. So we might just be able to trial and error our way through this. So he's got a little bed, he's got some ice, he's got a little fire on him. You can see the healing bar moving up. We'll give him a little pal as well. So as well as heat and soft furnishings, he's getting good vibes from his little buddy there. So add the leaf, and now we've got a proper hospital bed, and we've got a family. So his healing is getting up towards a decent enough level. I don't think we're going to make it through on this first try, but I think it's worth a good run through. So now he's getting better. We're getting some pretty positive vibes out of the music here, which is good. So it looks like we got everything, we were nearly in the right order, we just didn't get the leaf up, so that needs to go earlier. Right, let's give it another go. So, we restart, and we've got the leaf, so we'll do that first, so we'll get that leveled up nice and early. Then, I think we were in pretty much the right order, so we'll do the blanket, because that was pretty effective in terms of leveling up as a bed and getting in multiple levels of healing. You'll see the healing starts to climb very slowly at first, but it's quite cumulative. So, if we have the fire, that can level up and provide, you know, a fire heal turn after turn after turn as we add more tiles. That's the kind of logic you have to deploy when you're figuring these games out. Okay, so as I recall, it was his little buddy. Great. So we've not only got the healing powder with the water. We've got a proper syringe now full of what looks like, I don't know, blood or those Campino strawberry sweets you used to get. Okay, so ice next, I believe. Oh, we've got. I would not be keen on that needle. I'm not big on injections personally, and I don't really like the sound of that. It's one of the things that puts me off sort of more exotic travel is the idea of having to get jabs before I go. I just, you know, I know I don't want to have dengue fever. That's not something that's really on my to-do list, but nor do I want to get injected. That's also not a lot of fun. Okay, so we got a proper doctor now. Okay, we're doing things the right way. This. I would be very pleased if we managed to just beat this on the second time through. Just by trial and erroring it, because the rest of these I've had to use walkthroughs, so this is actually quite pleasing if I have managed to get it right. Okay, we got some dinner. So let's feed him some of this stew, see how it treats him. Oh yeah, the healing's going up. Good. Plus the ice, it looks like, yes. Yeah, despite everything, we have beaten this on the second time through. Brilliant. So, with that, our little fella is restored to full health, and off his head pops. But that is an unfortunate side effect. Now, so he's he's posted a little note on this saying, "I'll get over the illness. Please wait for the new game for a while." Now, well, we don't mind waiting on we know there's plenty of this good stuff to play. Now, a lot of these were released on Android and iOS recently. This one, I think, was renamed as Grow Recovery. You want to go look that up. There's one called Grow Park, which is brilliant, which involves lots of different combinations. You're trying to piece together an entire sort of bestiary of little creatures and different grow people that you can spawn by growing your park in a certain way. So I thoroughly recommend going and buying that if you want to support this guy on and his website, Eyezmaze. He's got games that are not the Grow series as well. They're in a similar kind of visual style, and those are well worth checking out if you can find them. So I wanted to bring a spotlight on a game series that is very close to my heart, and I think I have done that. So I hope you've enjoyed this little short one-off, and I would thoroughly encourage you to go and play the Grow games. Plus, if you enjoyed my videos, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe, if you could maybe have a look at my Patreon, because if you can chuck me a couple of quid a month, that will really help me keep this show on the road. So if there's something you want to say, a game you want to suggest in the comments, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you for our regular series on Wednesdays and Saturdays, as well as the mini-series we're doing of Cubivore, which is out on Sundays, and any one-offs we do in the meantime. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.